Hello there, welcome back to Beauty Bee. Today we're doing some really pretty quick makeup, but we are doing my entire morning beauty routine, including dropping things. So we're starting with some skincare. First I'm using a toner. This is from Sukin. I got it in a Walmart beauty box. I really know nothing about the brand, very little about the product beyond that it feels nice, and I think it does nice things for my skin. So wait for that to soak in for a second. The next step for me is going to be this moisturizer. This is from e.l.f. and it is their Jelly Pop Water Gel Moisturizer. I use quite a bit of this. I use 5 to 6 pumps. It is this really weird consistency. It's like if you tried to dissolve Jello in water and you only got like halfway there. That's kind of what it feels like to me. So that is going to take a minute or two to sink in to the point where I will want to move on to my next skincare step. So while I'm here, I'm just going to fill in my eyebrows. I'm using my brow pencil today. I've been kind of going back and forth between using my brow pencil and using a brow powder. Like, I feel that my brow powder looks a little bit better for everyday in person. But I notice when I use my brow powder, I think there's a spot on one of my brows, I think it's right here, that the brow powder just does not cover quite well enough. And this may well be the kind of thing that only bothers me and no one else can even see until I mention it. But I just noticed that there's this little tiny bald spot on my brows, and whenever I'm editing my videos, it's all I can see. So to avoid that, we're using the brow pencil today. Okay. I think that is looking good. I don't think my face is quite at a point where I want to move on to my face skincare, but I've been using this pretty regularly just on my neck and my hands. This is from the Yes To brand. This is the Yes To Avocado Daily Mineral Lotion with some SPF. It's only SPF 15, but this has, my camera's washing it out, isn't it? Stupid cloudy day. But this has kind of a gross texture. It does remind me of avocados in a weird way. Not really something that I want to be spreading on my face. It's kind of greasy and just fatty. But I don't want to waste my my little bit more expensive SPF on my neck and my hands. So that's where this has been getting good use. And also, just as a side note, if you are deeper than me, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this on camera, but this has a purple cast to it. And I don't notice it once I blend it into my skin, but I'm also very fair. If you are a person of color, I think you're going to end up looking very purple. And maybe that's what you're going for, in which case, you know, Yes To has you covered. Otherwise, may want to avoid that. So, there we have that. And now let's move on to my actual sunscreen for my face. This is the Neutrogena Invisible Daily Defense Face Serum. I don't think that I'm ever going to go back to a non-face serum SPF product. Just, it's so much lighter. I don't feel gross in the way that I always did with a more standard SPF lotion. I don't like the feeling of liquid products all over my face. I don't mind them when they're like a blush that I'm using in a pretty small area, but everywhere my face just feels dirty. But this is light enough that I don't really feel it once it's on and it's sunken in. So I think I will be a lot better about actually using this every day than I have been with literally every SPF I've ever used in the past. So I think that we are now good to go for the rest of my makeup. I'm going to start with my eyes. I think I'm going to use this Laura Mercier Caviar Stick Eye color. This is the birthday gift from Sephora this year. I haven't used it on my eyes yet, so we'll see how this goes. My intention is to use this as not quite a one shadow look, but to use this all over the lid and on the lower lash line and then blend it out with a bit of something else. But I don't know how deep it's going to be really, so let's see how this goes. Oh, that's fine. Great, I could just wear that by itself. That looks really pretty and put together without looking overdone. I like that a lot. Just using my finger to blend out the edges. I'm kind of wondering now if I even want to add another shadow. That's pretty. It has been going in between just storming and just being generally like cloudy and gray and drizzly and windy for like 3 days at this point, and it's not supposed to stop until Sunday. It's not supposed to stop. It's basically going to be just a miserable full week of awful weather. I'm so done with it. It's April, it's supposed to be nice. We don't get nice things this year. Anyway, I think I'm just gonna leave that as is and continue on the rest of my face. I can always revisit it if I decide I want a little bit more, but it's really pretty. Okay, next up I'm going to move to some powder foundation. This is the Laura Geller one. I'm just going to dab a little bit of that all over my face. It adds a tiny bit of coverage. It evens out my skin tone a tiny, tiny bit. But more importantly, it stops me from feeling too greasy with that sunscreen on. I really don't like the feeling of almost anything on my face. And with the powder, I really don't feel that sunscreen at all. Thank goodness. So for my lips, I've really been loving this vintage liner. I didn't think I would. I'm already wearing some lip balm. In fact, I'm wearing this fresh lip balm, which I love. It's so good. But anyway, as I was saying before, the tickle of the lip liner made me jump halfway out of my seat. I've been really liking this. I didn't think I would because I've just never been a big lip liner person, especially a sharpenable lip liner person. If I ever used one, it was a twist up, but I've kind of fallen in love with this. I like how it can define my lip line even when right now I don't have an actual lip line because I have these dry, nasty patches around my lips that sort of look like my lips, but you know, misshapen and gross. Makes my lips just look a little bit more full, and I feel like it goes with a wide range of colors. I at first thought that this was going to really just go with, you know, my lips but deeper, but it can go with a nice variety of colors. Of course, today I'm probably going to end up going my lips but deeper because I've talked a big game about this working well with other products, but you know what? Let's actually use this ColourPop Fresh Kiss Lip Creme. This is in Calming Circle. This is sort of a lighter nude in the spectrum of nudes. That's really pretty, actually. I like that a lot. Makes me think that I need to add some color on the cheeks, though, because otherwise this is going to look very monochromatic, which isn't a bad thing, just not what I'm really going for today. Come out. So I'm going to be using the Balm blushes. This is the Auto Balm palettes, and I'm going to start by going in really with a mixture of these three colors, just getting Bourbon Street, Bleecker Street, and Fifth Avenue. I think that will make for a pretty color. You know, I'm kind of getting a similar effect with this that I get with my Pacifica blush. I'll grab that in just a second for comparison's sake. But that feeling of having blush and bronzer and highlighter sort of all on your face at once with one product, that's very much what I get from my Pacifica blush, and I feel like I'm getting a similar vibe. Probably because, you know, I basically just mixed a color that's a blush, a color that's kind of bronzery, and a color that's kind of highlightery all together. Slaying the game. So I totally forgot when I was actually filming to bring out that Pacifica blush. But here it is. I have mine in the shade Wild Rose. I believe they have one other color. But it's this neutrally pink shade with a lot of glow. And while I don't think it's that similar in a swatch, which we'll see in just a sec, I think that the vibe that it gives me is quite similar to the mixture of those three balm blushes, which I feel like in my swatch I'm not getting a whole lot of Fifth Avenue. If we build that up a little bit further, yeah, still not identical, but I think you can see where I'm coming from with the idea that both of these products sort of look like blush, bronzer, and highlighter all in one. Anyway, back to the video. Okay, now we're back, and I think that the final step for me is going to be a little bit of bronzer. So keeping with the balm products, not because I really intended to, just because this is in one of my projects and I want to make progress on it, I'm going to go into a mixture of Balm Beach and Balm Desert. I'm going to put that up on my forehead, at my temples, along my jawline, just getting myself some extra color to even out this really maybe a little too ruddy cheek that I have going on. And with that, should I add some highlights? Silly question. I always want to add highlights. And we're going with Mary Lou, everyone's favorite criminal. I don't know what she was supposed to do. Oh, she's too pretty and too popular. Same. Not really. Cannot say that it is a relatable problem, but good for you, Miss Manizer. We're retrying this outro. With that, I actually am done. I do a look relatively similar to this, probably 2 to 3 times a week. I would say that most of the days when I'm filming, I do a little bit more makeup, and once or twice a week, I will just, decide that I want to play around and add a lot more makeup even when I'm not filming. But this is pretty standard for me for every day, and I like it. I'm really looking forward to playing around with this Laura Mercier Caviar Stick a little bit more. I think that this is really pretty, and I'd like to compare it at some point to my e.l.f. one. I feel like they give pretty similar vibes, though I think the e.l.f. one is a little bit cooler. Overall, this look is nothing exciting, but I do think it turned out nicely, and I like it. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Please consider liking and subscribing if you did, and I hope that I will see you with my next video. Bye!